Hello everyone, welcome to a new series I'd like to start doing for this channel. So my channel's been dead for like, it feels like 8 years now or something, pretty much like 7, 8 years. So I actually kind of want to bring the channel back, but this time we're going to be starting something new. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a review series where essentially I'll be looking at different FNaFb fan games, giving my own takes, my criticisms, my feedback. This is something that no one's really broken into very much, at least publicly. No one's really like made videos talking about like how bad, CAE is or how good Eve or MFCV is. So that's something I'd like to start doing. Now with that being said, as someone who's essentially been making and playing these games off and on for like 9 years, since I was like 16 years old, I've been kind of messing with these games. I feel like I've accumulated enough knowledge on like what people look for in games in terms of like gameplay and writing and things like that, so I have a pretty good grasp on what's good and what's bad on these. And I feel like I'm one of the few people that's probably, qualified enough to make an actual legitimate review on these games. Man, I am getting way too old for this. So what I'll be doing is I'll be breaking down each game into a few categories. So like story, writing, graphics, gameplay. I'm gonna mention that, like everyone else, I do have bias for certain things. I have less bias for other things. So, when I play a game, I look for things probably a little bit more than most people would. I'm looking for good writing, and is the gameplay fun, or is it dog shit? And unfortunately, most games have complete dog shit in both. So, to me, things like story and graphics aren't as important. Let's kind of be real with ourselves here. Most FNaFb game stories are very, very basic, and, like one note, they don't really have any complexity to them at all. That's what I said, most games do. Some games like Eve, it's a little bit more complex, but for the most part, they're just very easy to summarize. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, where am I going to count humor in this? For me, humor is completely subjective. Just because I don't find something funny, that doesn't mean that other people won't. Not everyone's going to share that. And to me, and in this day and age, humor is something that you have to be really talented to make a game really funny. And I'm someone, even I recognize I'm not the funniest guy ever. I have the humor equivalent of like a brick wall. I find the dumbest shit ever funny, but you get something that's like an actual good joke, I just won't laugh at it or anything, so I'm not going to be counting that in this review. So essentially, what's going to be happening is I'm going to be giving each category a rank from 1 through 10, and then I'm going to give the game a grade rating at the end while summarizing my points on what I like and what I don't. Don't expect most games to get like above an A or an S. Well, S, you can't go above S, right? But don't expect most games to get an A or above, just because I think most FNaFb games are flawed in multiple ways, and it's not really anyone's fault. It's just because most FNaFb games are just terrible. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I will try to be lenient. I'm not going to try to completely rip these games in half, because I understand, from a dev standpoint, it's very easy to get demotivated when someone just completely destroys your game, and there isn't really much room that you have to argue for it, in the matter. So, yeah, most games will probably get like a B or a C. Like, it's decent, but it could use some work in a few areas to make it much better. So don't do everything. Don't take everything as I say as like some grandiose fact. At the end of the day, I'm just one guy who, likes wasting his time on dumb shit playing these games and giving critique on things that don't really matter. If you like something that I don't, that's great. That's totally okay. More power to you. But I'm going to call bad things out as I see them. If I think something's really bad, I'm going to call it out. If you don't think it's that bad, of a thing, that's you. We'll be free to disagree, and we'll move right along. But regardless of that, I very much hope everyone will be excited to see what I have in store for this. I do have a few games already have planned. The first one, probably not most of the general community has heard about, but most people that are like on the Discord, everything, they've already played these. So it'll be interesting to kind of give my own feedback on how much I like and how much I don't like things. So now the question is, what game am I going to be starting with first?
Here comes a new challenger!
And that is Fuckyland Reopened. This game got a rebalance patch. I played it before the rebalance, and it was just kind of whatever. It was just kind of okay. There was a lot of problems with it. But the rebalance definitely helped, I think, at least going off of what other people said. So I'm going to be starting with this game first. So I'd like to replay through it. I kind of have a general idea of how to get through the game already, but I like to give my thoughts on the matter regardless and say, what does the game do really well? What does it do maybe not so well? And yeah, you guys have that to look forward to. I don't have a deadline for when I'm going to be making and uploading these videos. Just kind of going to be making these, whenever I have free time. So with that being said, please look forward to it. I am going to try to put a little bit more effort into these videos, and hopefully you guys will get some enjoyment out of them. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the actual review video.
So when I am the one on the box art, I should be the star of the show, not you.
That's not how it works. You were supposed to stay still.
I don't want to stay still. Fuck you. Besides, you'll need all the hands you can get so we can get our night of debauchery going. The more the merrier.
Ugh, fine, but I'm not happy about it.
You're just butthurt because you're not the main character anymore.
Fuck you. Let's just keep going.
Now then. Are you low for poo?
That sounded fucking terrible.
At least I tried. Now let's shit on some cameras.